This story is a deeply human reflection on what happens when life suddenly shifts course and forces clarity where routine once lived. It follows Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos through an unexpected health crisis that transformed their understanding of time, love, and presence. What begins as fear inside hospital walls slowly evolves into a lesson about gratitude, resilience, and the quiet power of family. At its core, this is not a story about illness alone, but about what is revealed when certainty disappears. It reminds us how fragile normalcy truly is, and how quickly priorities rearrange themselves when someone you love is placed in danger. Through moments of pain, hope, and growth, this journey shows how love deepens under pressure, and how ordinary life, once taken for granted, becomes something sacred. When ordinary life suddenly stops, Kelly's world shifted the moment Mark required intensive care. The routines that once defined their life together were replaced by sterile hallways, medical monitors, and an unrelenting sense of uncertainty. Nothing prepares you for how quickly normal life can dissolve, and Kelly described the experience as surreal, as if reality had fractured without warning. Conversations that once centered on schedules and plans were replaced with whispered fears and cautious hope. The familiarity of home felt distant, almost unreal, as hospital rooms became the center of their world. This stage of the journey highlights the shock that comes with sudden crisis, when the illusion of control vanishes. Kelly was forced to confront how fragile even the strongest foundations can be, and how love becomes both a comfort and a source of fear. In those moments, time seemed to slow, stretching every second into something heavy and unforgettable. Facing fear through family presence. Even in his most vulnerable state, Mark's instinct was not fear, but connection. His first request was to see his children, a reflection of where his heart lived even in crisis. For Kelly, this moment was both heartbreaking and powerful. Balancing her own fear with the responsibility of fulfilling his wish required immense strength. When the children entered the hospital room, the atmosphere shifted. Fear softened into love, uncertainty into reassurance. Their presence was grounding, a reminder of why strength mattered. This moment emphasized that family is not just support, but purpose. It showed how love can exist alongside fear, and how presence itself can be healing. The reunion was quiet, emotional, and deeply human, proving that even in the most clinical environments, emotional connection carries profound power. For Kelly, it reaffirmed that love is not passive. It is something we actively show, even when it hurts. A father's lessons in vulnerability. Mark's time with his children became moments of quiet teaching. Each interaction carried intention and care, shaped by the awareness that nothing should be left unsaid. With each child, he offered guidance rooted not in fear, but in love. He spoke of courage, empathy, joy, and integrity, tailoring his words to who they were and what they needed. Kelly watched these moments unfold, recognizing how vulnerability can coexist with strength. Mark did not shield his children from reality, but he framed it with reassurance and wisdom. These conversations were not dramatic speeches, but gentle exchanges filled with meaning. They demonstrated that leadership within a family is often quiet, expressed through presence and honesty. This stage of the journey revealed how love matures in crisis, becoming intentional and deeply expressive. It showed that even in uncertainty, values can be passed on through example rather than fear. Promises that anchored the storm. One of the most defining moments came when Mark asked Kelly to carry his love forward for their children if he could not. The simplicity of the request carried immense emotional weight. It was not a goodbye, but an acknowledgement of possibility, and it became an anchor for Kelly during long, sleepless nights. In the stillness of hospital waiting areas, memories surfaced, along with a deep realization about the urgency of love. This promise reinforced the importance of expression, reminding Kelly that love must be spoken, shown, and lived without delay. Fear sharpened clarity, stripping life down to what truly mattered. This phase of the story highlights how crisis forces emotional honesty and immediacy. It teaches that the words we hesitate to say and the moments we postpone are the ones that matter most. Love, once spoken and shared, becomes a source of strength rather than fear. Hope found in small victories recovery did not arrive all at once, but in fragments. Each small improvement became a celebration, a reminder that progress is often quiet and incremental. A steady breath, a smile, a laugh. These moments carried outsized meaning. Kelly learned to recognize hope not in grand outcomes, but in subtle signs of resilience. As Mark's voice returned and conversation resumed, life slowly re-entered the room. Humor followed, easing tension and restoring familiarity. These victories reinforced the importance of patience and presence. They showed how love sustains hope even when outcomes remain uncertain. This stage emphasizes that healing is not just physical, but emotional. The act of noticing progress, no matter how small, became a form of gratitude. Through this lens, ordinary gestures took on extraordinary significance, reminding Kelly that recovery is as much about spirit as it is about strength. Strength built one step at a time. Physical recovery demanded persistence, humility, and courage. Tasks once automatic now required effort and determination. Mark's first steps down the hospital hallway symbolized more than physical healing. They represented resolve and the will to keep moving forward. Kelly watched with admiration, seeing the same lessons he had shared with their children being lived in real time. Courage, resilience, and patience were no longer abstract values. They were embodied. This phase highlights how growth often emerges through struggle and how support transforms effort into progress. Therapists, family, and love formed a circle of encouragement, reminding Mark that he was not alone. Each milestone reinforced the belief that healing is a collective journey. For Kelly, these moments reshaped her understanding of strength, teaching her that perseverance does not always roar. Sometimes it simply takes the next step. Home as a sanctuary of renewal. Returning home marked a profound emotional shift. Familiar spaces felt new again, infused with gratitude and relief. The house became more than a residence. It became a sanctuary. Simple routines like shared meals, quiet walks, and unhurried conversations took on deeper meaning. The absence of hospital sounds was replaced by warmth and calm. This stage of the journey reflects the beauty of rediscovering ordinary life after crisis. Kelly and Mark embraced slowness, recognizing that presence mattered more than productivity. Home became a place of healing, where love was practiced daily through attention and care. This return emphasized that safety is not just physical, but emotional. It showed how gratitude can transform routine into ritual, and how shared space, once taken for granted, can become a powerful source of comfort and renewal. Living forward with gratitude. Life after recovery brought a redefinition of normal. The family adopted new rhythms centered on intention and appreciation. Coffee on the porch, laughter, and quiet moments replaced urgency and distraction. The children grew more empathetic, communication deepened, and time together became sacred. Kelly's reflections emphasized that life's true richness lies in connection, not achievement. Gratitude became a daily practice, reshaping how moments were experienced and valued. This final phase reveals the lasting impact of crisis when its lessons are carried forward. Love became more expressive, presence more deliberate. The journey did not erase fear, but it transformed it into awareness. Ultimately, this story affirms that love has the power to reshape perspective, turning uncertainty into growth and ordinary life into something deeply meaningful.